Chosen one, get your surprise on Sunday. It's unexpected. Some moments arrive without warning, not to disrupt, but to realign. Sunday carries that kind of energy for the chosen one. An unexpected surprise is not meant to shock or overwhelm you. It is meant to arrive naturally, almost quietly, in a way that fits where you are now. This is not about anticipation or suspense. It is about recognition. Recognition that when readiness settles fully, life responds in subtle but meaningful ways. Sunday does not come to test you. It comes to meet you where preparation has already taken place. Stay with this message until the very end, because each part builds carefully on the last. And share your warmest wishes in the comments. And write 144 as a symbol of alignment and focused intention, allowing this moment to be acknowledged and gently energized as part of a shared flow. Now, chosen one, press the hype button, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's start. An unexpected surprise often carries a different quality than something planned. It does not require effort or strategizing. It arrives because conditions are right. For the chosen one, Sunday reflects this kind of arrival. You may notice that instead of feeling restless or impatient, you feel grounded. This grounding is important. It signals that what is coming does not require you to rearrange yourself to receive it. It fits into the structure you have already built. You may begin to sense that your awareness sharpens as Sunday approaches, not in a tense or hyper-focused way, but with calm attentiveness. You are not scanning for signs or forcing meaning. You are simply present. Presence allows recognition. When you are present, you notice what aligns without effort. This surprise is not about excess or spectacle. It is about timing. Something aligns in a way that feels natural, even if it was not expected. The chosen one understands that the most meaningful developments often feel obvious only after they arrive. Before that, they feel quiet, almost ordinary. You may notice that your reactions feel measured. You are not startled or overwhelmed. Instead, there is a sense of ease. This ease indicates that you are capable of integrating what comes without strain. Integration matters more than intensity. What integrates cleanly tends to last. Sunday may also bring a subtle shift in perspective. You may see a situation differently. You may realize that something you were concerned about no longer holds the same weight. This shift does not require explanation. It simply settles. The chosen one recognizes that clarity often arrives through release rather than effort. There is also a sense of trust that accompanies this moment. Trust not rooted in expectation, but in experience. You have learned that when things arrive unexpectedly but feel right, they are often aligned with a deeper order. This trust allows you to remain open without becoming vulnerable to disappointment. You may find that responsibility feels lighter during this time, not because there is less to manage, but because you are no longer carrying it in anticipation. You respond to what is present rather than worrying about what might come. This approach preserves energy and keeps focus clear. Emotionally, Sunday may feel balanced. You are not pulled toward extremes. You are steady. This steadiness allows you to recognize the value of what arrives without overreacting. The chosen one understands that calm reception preserves meaning. This unexpected moment does not demand immediate action. It invites awareness. Awareness allows you to recognize how far you have come and how prepared you are now. Preparation is often invisible until it is needed. Sunday reveals it gently. As this first phase opens, remain attentive without expectation. Do not try to predict what the surprise will be. Allow it to arrive in its own form. The chosen one understands that surprises meant to support you do not need to be chased or decoded in advance. This opening part is about orientation. Orientation toward presence, steadiness, and trust. From here, the message will continue to unfold in layers, each one deepening understanding, reinforcing calm confidence, and preparing you to move through Sunday with clarity, openness, and a quiet readiness to receive what aligns naturally. As this message continues, the chosen one may begin to notice that the unexpected nature of Sunday does not create anxiety. Instead, it creates openness. You are not bracing yourself for impact or trying to anticipate outcomes. You are simply available. Availability is important here. When you are available rather than guarded, what arrives can be received without distortion. Sunday supports this state naturally. During this phase, your attention becomes more refined. You are not distracted by unnecessary noise or pulled into speculation. You remain present with what is unfolding in front of you. This presence allows subtle shifts to be recognized. The chosen one understands that meaningful change often announces itself quietly through altered perception rather than dramatic events. You may also notice that your internal dialogue feels calmer. There is less questioning, less second-guessing. Instead of asking what something means, you allow it to be what it is. This restraint preserves clarity. When meaning is forced too quickly, it often loses accuracy. Sunday favors patience over interpretation. There is often a sense of emotional balance during this stage. You are not swinging between excitement and doubt. You remain centered. This emotional regulation supports clear judgment and prevents overreaction. The chosen one values this steadiness because it allows insight to settle rather than scatter. You may find that interactions on Sunday feel different. Conversations flow more easily. Responses feel appropriate rather than rehearsed. This ease reflects internal alignment. When you are aligned, communication becomes simpler. You do not need to explain excessively or defend your perspective. Presence does the work. This phase may also bring awareness of how your relationship with control has softened. You are not trying to manage every variable or predict what will happen next. You trust that what arrives unexpectedly does so for a reason. This trust reduces internal tension and keeps you responsive rather than rigid. You may notice that your sense of timing feels intuitive. You know when to engage and when to pause without external cues. This intuition has been refined through experience. The chosen one trusts this sense of timing because it has proven reliable across different situations. Sunday's energy often highlights how much internal resistance has dissolved. What once felt like an obstacle now feels manageable. This shift is not dramatic. It is quiet and practical. Reduced resistance allows movement to continue without effort. You may also sense a subtle confidence forming. Not confidence that demands expression, but confidence that feels settled. You are not trying to prove anything. You simply recognize that you can handle what comes. This recognition reduces fear and supports openness. There can be moments during this phase where you realize that your expectations have changed. You are no longer waiting for something to rescue you or validate your progress. You are engaging from readiness. This shift alters how surprises are experienced. Instead of feeling destabilizing, they feel fitting. This stage encourages discernment rather than analysis. You notice what supports clarity and what does not. You adjust accordingly without judgment. Adjustment becomes a natural response rather than a corrective measure. The chosen one understands that alignment is maintained through small, consistent choices. As this second phase unfolds, remain attentive to how ease shows up. Ease does not mean nothing is happening. It means movement is occurring without friction. Frictionless movement is a sign of alignment. This part of the message deepens understanding of why Sunday feels supportive. Not because it promises something extraordinary, but because it meets you in a state of readiness. From here, the unfolding continues, guiding you further into calm awareness, steady engagement, and a growing trust that what arrives unexpectedly can still fit perfectly within the life you have prepared to sustain. As this unfolding continues, the chosen one may begin to sense that Sunday's surprise is less about the event itself and more about how you receive it. Reception has changed. You are no longer startled by the unfamiliar or thrown off by deviation from plans. Instead, you remain oriented. This orientation allows you to stay grounded even as something unexpected enters your awareness. What once might have felt disruptive now feels workable. In this phase, awareness becomes more embodied. You are not only noticing what happens, but how your body and mind respond to it. There is less tension in anticipation and less contraction in response. This relaxed alertness allows information to register clearly. The chosen one understands that when awareness is embodied, insight arrives without force. You may notice that your sense of meaning-making has slowed in a healthy way. You are not rushing to label the surprise as good or bad, important or insignificant. You allow it to exist first. This pause preserves accuracy. When meaning is allowed to emerge organically, it aligns more closely with reality. Sunday may also reveal how much your relationship with uncertainty has matured. You are no longer unsettled by not knowing everything at once. You are comfortable allowing clarity to arrive in stages. This patience supports depth of understanding. The chosen one recognizes that some insights require space before they can be integrated fully. There is often a strengthening of inner authority during this stage. You trust your interpretation without needing immediate confirmation. This authority is calm and flexible. It does not insist on control. It guides response. You move forward knowing you can adjust if needed, without self-criticism. You may also find that your emotional responses remain proportionate. Surprise does not escalate into overwhelm. Curiosity does not turn into restlessness. This emotional balance allows you to remain present and responsive. When emotions are integrated, they support awareness rather than distract from it. This phase can bring clarity around what truly matters. You may realize that some concerns no longer deserve attention. The unexpected arrival of something fitting can recalibrate priorities. This recalibration happens quietly, without the need for dramatic decisions. The chosen one understands that alignment often simplifies focus. You may notice that your attention becomes more selective. You invest it where coherence increases and withdraw it where confusion persists. This selectivity is not avoidance. It is stewardship. Stewardship ensures that what arrives is met with care rather than scattered energy. Sunday may also highlight how your pacing has stabilized. You are not rushing to respond or delaying unnecessarily. You engage when engagement feels right and pause when reflection supports clarity. This pacing protects energy and preserves balance. There can be moments of quiet confirmation during this stage. A sense that something fits. A realization that you are not out of place or unprepared. These confirmations do not demand expression. They reinforce trust. Trust that readiness has been built carefully. You may also notice that your expectations continue to soften. You are open to what unfolds without attaching rigid narratives to it. This openness allows surprises to integrate smoothly rather than disruptively. As this third phase continues, You may realize that Sunday's surprise is not meant to redirect your life abruptly. It is meant to affirm your orientation. Affirm that you are positioned to receive without strain and adjust without losing direction. Remain attentive to how steadiness supports reception. Notice where things feel clean and direct. Notice where effort feels unnecessary. These are signals of alignment. This part of the message is about recognition of internal change. You are no longer meeting the unexpected from uncertainty. You are meeting it from readiness. From here, the unfolding continues, guiding you deeper into a state where openness, discernment, and calm confidence allow whatever arrives to be integrated naturally and sustainably. As this alignment continues to settle, the chosen one may begin to recognize that Sunday's unexpected nature does not pull you off course. Instead, it confirms that your direction is stable enough to accommodate change. You are no longer dependent on predictability to feel secure. This stability allows you to remain composed even when plans shift. What once felt disruptive now feels informational. During this phase, your relationship with control refines itself further. You are not trying to orchestrate outcomes or anticipate every possibility. You focus on maintaining clarity in how you respond. This selective control restores agency without tension. When response is prioritized over outcome, alignment remains intact. You may notice that responsibility feels more neutral now. It is neither heavy nor avoidable. You tend to what is present without projecting stress into the future. This approach preserves energy and keeps attention grounded. Responsibility handled this way becomes structure rather than pressure. Structure supports continuity. Emotionally, this stage often brings quiet resilience. You experience surprise without shock, curiosity without restlessness. This balance allows you to engage fully without being overwhelmed. The chosen one understands that emotional regulation is not suppression, but integration. You may find that your internal dialogue continues to simplify. There is less commentary, less explanation. You observe more and evaluate less. This simplicity creates mental space. In that space, insight surfaces naturally without being forced. Sunday may also highlight how much your trust in yourself has deepened. You trust your ability to interpret what arrives and respond appropriately. This trust reduces the need for external reassurance. Confidence becomes internal and consistent, rather than reactive. There is also a noticeable refinement in how you apply effort. You recognize when action is needed and when restraint serves clarity better. This balance prevents exhaustion and protects momentum. Aligned effort feels efficient, not draining. You may observe that communication feels cleaner during this stage. You speak with intention and listen without preparing defense. Conversations feel more cooperative and less charged. Presence replaces performance. This clarity supports meaningful exchange. This phase can bring awareness of how much internal resistance has dissolved. What once required effort now feels natural. This ease does not indicate passivity. It indicates alignment. When alignment is active, movement does not require force. You may also notice that your sense of timing remains intuitive. You engage when alignment is present and pause when reflection supports understanding. This pacing feels natural rather than calculated. The chosen one trusts this rhythm because it has proven reliable. As this part unfolds, structure continues to support integration. Routines and boundaries you have already established provide a container for whatever arrives. Without structure, surprise creates imbalance. With structure, it creates opportunity. Remain attentive without anticipation. There is no need to define what the surprise must be or how it should unfold. Allow it to integrate in its own way. The chosen one understands that what fits does not need explanation. This fourth phase is about stabilization through openness. You are learning how to remain aligned while accommodating the unexpected, how to receive without disruption, and how to allow clarity to guide response naturally. From here, the unfolding continues, strengthening trust, refining discernment, and preparing you to carry what arrives with calm confidence and steady presence. As this unfolding continues, the chosen one may begin to sense that Sunday's surprise leaves a subtle but lasting shift in how you carry yourself afterward. It does not demand attention or immediate interpretation. Instead, it settles quietly, influencing your posture, your pacing, and your sense of orientation. You are less inclined to rush conclusions or assign meaning too quickly. This restraint preserves clarity and allows understanding to mature naturally. During this phase, confidence expresses itself through consistency. You show up with the same grounded presence across different moments, rather than reacting strongly to change. This consistency builds internal trust. You recognize that you do not need to heighten emotion to mark significance. What matters integrates through steadiness, not intensity. You may notice that your standards for engagement become clearer. You are selective not out of avoidance, but out of respect for coherence. You choose where to invest energy and where to remain neutral. This discernment ensures that what has arrived unexpectedly is not diluted by distraction or overextension. The chosen one understands that preservation is part of reception. There is also an increasing ease in how you relate to responsibility. You no longer brace yourself before addressing what needs attention. You meet it directly, without resistance or hesitation. Responsibility feels like structure rather than pressure. Structure supports continuity, and continuity allows progress to build without collapse. Emotionally, this phase often brings quiet resilience. When something does not unfold exactly as anticipated, you adjust without self-criticism. You do not interpret deviation as failure. You interpret it as information. This perspective keeps learning active and prevents unnecessary emotional weight from accumulating. You may also observe that your planning becomes more flexible and realistic. You prepare without becoming rigid. You think ahead without assuming problems. This balance allows plans to remain supportive rather than restrictive. Preparedness replaces worry, and clarity replaces over-control. This stage can bring awareness of how much mental energy you are no longer expending on unnecessary speculation. You are not replaying scenarios or rehearsing outcomes. Your attention remains anchored in what is present and constructive. This focus conserves energy and supports steady movement. Communication during this phase continues to simplify. You speak when clarity is present and remain silent when it is not. You listen without defensiveness. This clarity strengthens connection and reduces friction. Presence becomes more effective than explanation. There is also a growing comfort with pacing. You no longer rush integration or delay response unnecessarily. You trust the rhythm that has established itself. This trust prevents burnout and supports long-term alignment. The chosen one understands that rhythm sustains what speed cannot. You may feel less inclined to measure progress constantly. Progress is felt through stability rather than tracked through visible milestones. This shift prevents exhaustion and supports endurance. Endurance ensures that what integrates now can remain supportive over time. As this phase unfolds, You may realize that Sunday's surprise did not require you to change direction. It confirmed your readiness to receive without disruption. What has settled does not need to be defended or repeated. It continues quietly through how you choose, respond, and remain present. Remain attentive to simplicity. When things feel clean and direct, alignment is active. When things feel forced or scattered, adjustment is needed. These signals guide you gently without pressure. This fifth phase is about consolidation. You are allowing what arrived unexpectedly to become part of your internal order. From this consolidation, what follows will be met with greater ease, clearer judgment, and a steadiness that supports continuity, preparing you to move forward without strain and with a calm confidence that no longer depends on anticipation. As this final phase settles into place, the chosen one may begin to recognize that Sunday's unexpected moment was never meant to stand alone. It functioned as a confirmation rather than a conclusion. What arrived did not disrupt your direction. It affirmed your capacity to receive and continue forward without losing balance. You are not returning to anticipation or uncertainty. You are moving from integration. There is now a calm assurance present that does not depend on explanation or proof. You are not replaying what happened or questioning its meaning. You trust that what aligned did so for a reason that will continue to reveal itself over time. This trust allows you to remain grounded, even as life continues to unfold in ordinary ways. The chosen one understands that meaningful shifts often blend seamlessly into daily experience. Your relationship with effort feels settled. You engage where engagement is necessary and rest where restraint preserves clarity. You are no longer pushing to maintain momentum. Momentum sustains itself when alignment is active. This balance protects energy and allows progress to continue without strain. Responsibility during this phase feels integrated rather than imposed. You tend to what is present with care and attention, without absorbing unnecessary pressure. Responsibility aligns with capacity. You are not overwhelmed because you are not carrying what does not belong to you. This discernment ensures sustainability. Emotionally, you remain composed even when circumstances shift. Change no longer signals instability. It signals information. You adjust without losing orientation. This adaptability keeps movement fluid and prevents emotional depletion. The chosen one recognizes flexibility as a sign of maturity, not uncertainty. You may notice that your internal dialogue remains quiet and supportive. When decisions arise, you assess without spiraling into doubt. When outcomes are incomplete, you remain patient without disengaging. This mental steadiness preserves clarity and reduces friction. There is also a refined sense of timing present now. You no longer feel behind or ahead. You feel positioned. This positioning allows you to move when movement is appropriate and pause when patience supports understanding. Both are expressions of alignment. As this phase completes, you may realize that the surprise did not change who you are. It revealed who you have become. The steadiness you now carry reflects preparation that was built carefully, often unnoticed over time. There is nothing here to rush and nothing to protect aggressively. What has integrated does not require constant attention. It is supported by consistency in awareness, pacing, and response. These qualities are now part of how you live. You are not being asked to announce this shift or define it immediately. Its presence will reveal itself through reduced resistance, clearer judgment, and sustained balance as you move forward. And as this sequence concludes, the chosen one continues with calm intention. aware that what arrived unexpectedly has already found its place. From this place of steady awareness, what comes next will integrate naturally, supported by readiness, discernment, and the quiet confidence of knowing you can sustain what life brings. As life continues from this point, the chosen one may begin to recognize that the unexpected no longer feels disruptive or destabilizing. What once might have created hesitation now fits naturally into your rhythm. You are not startled by change, nor are you dependent on certainty to feel grounded. This ease reflects an internal stability that has been built over time and is now quietly reliable. In this stage, engagement replaces anticipation. You are no longer waiting for signs to confirm direction or meaning. You are participating directly, responding to what is present with calm awareness. This participation is intentional rather than reactive. You listen closely to your own responses and trust them. When something aligns, you feel it clearly. When it does not, you adjust without resistance. You may notice that your sense of progress feels quieter but more consistent. You are not measuring advancement through comparison or speed. Progress is experienced through clarity, steadiness, and reduced internal friction. This perspective keeps you grounded and prevents cycles of overexertion followed by withdrawal. The chosen one understands that sustainable growth rarely announces itself. Responsibility continues to feel like structure rather than weight. You address what is present without carrying future outcomes prematurely. This approach preserves energy and keeps attention focused. Responsibility held this way supports continuity and allows momentum to build without strain. There is also a noticeable refinement in how you manage attention. You invest it where coherence strengthens and withdraw it, where confusion persists. This selectivity is not avoidance. It is stewardship. Stewardship of energy ensures that what matters receives presence and care, allowing it to develop fully. Challenges, when they appear, no longer signal disruption. They are understood as part of engagement. You respond with adjustment rather than resistance. This response keeps movement intact and prevents emotional depletion. The chosen one recognizes adaptability as a sign of strength, not instability. You may feel a quiet satisfaction that does not seek expression. Satisfaction rooted in internal order rather than external achievement. This satisfaction stabilizes you and reduces the urge to rush, prove, or over-explain. It allows you to remain present and responsive. As this final stage settles completely, you may realize that Sunday did not bring something foreign into your life. It revealed readiness that was already there. The steadiness you now carry reflects a capacity shaped patiently and consistently over time. There is nothing here to accelerate and nothing to hold back. Movement continues at a pace that matches capacity. What unfolds next will do so in response to clarity rather than urgency. And as this sequence completes, the chosen one moves forward with calm intention, aware that alignment is no longer an event to wait for, but a way of living. From this place of steady awareness, whatever comes next will integrate naturally, supported by balance, discernment, and the quiet confidence of being ready to sustain what arrives. As this final layer settles into awareness, the chosen one may begin to notice that even reflection itself has changed. You are no longer revisiting moments to extract reassurance or replay meaning. Understanding arrives without repetition. What has integrated does not need to be reviewed. It informs you quietly, shaping how you move forward without demanding attention. This is a sign of completion. In this stage, Trust becomes implicit. You are not consciously reminding yourself to stay grounded or open. Groundedness is already present. Openness no longer feels risky. From here, progression continues calmly, shaped by understanding that has fully integrated and no longer seeks validation.